Text and shapes are two more ways that you can bring your photos to life in Scrapblog. Text is really easy to edit. You just drag in the main text onto the page, and then let's just quickly change the color of that so we can see it a little bit better using the color selector. You can also change the font, and there are a really nice range of good looking fonts in Scrapblog. Once you've chosen your font, the contextual menu also allows you to really easily change the font size just by bumping up this little arrow here and changing the size. There are also the usual formatting features, so you can bold your text and italicize it, for instance. If you change the bounding box, you can also decide how the text will be laid out on the page. And you can rotate it just as you can with your photos and your stickers. Another good thing about the text is you can change the alignment, so you can justify, have them centered, have it align left. You can even add bullet points. If you want to have a fill background, that's no problem also, so this gives you a nice caption box kind of look. Also, it's quite possible to add a line around your text if you just want to have a border without the background fill. It's perfectly possible to change this line to a dashed line and various other things, and you can turn it off also completely. So lots of different features to highlight your text here, and that's the main text function. On top of that though, there are also these speech and thought bubbles to add a comic book look. So if you drag in this speech bubble here and drop it onto the page, you can add your text, and this again you can change the font size and the color, and then you can change the size of the box just by dragging the corners of it. You can also grab the arm so you can point it at exactly the person you'd like to be saying your caption. So in this way you can create a really nice comic book effect and add a little something extra to your photos. Now another way that you can create a design look is by dragging shapes right onto the page, and these are really versatile. So you bring it onto the page and you can resize that completely and rotate it just as you can with all of the other features that we've looked at so far. So far so similar. But on top of that you can also use a gradient fill. You can change to have a standard fill for your image. You can bump up the border size and change the line, color and thickness. And you can also add a drop shadow. Just like the other features so far, you can also change the opacity of your shapes to create different layered effects that way. On top of that though, there's another way of adding a fill to your shape, and that's by going to your background section. You can actually drag your backgrounds over a shape and it will therefore fill that shape completely. So this is a great way of making use of all of those different backgrounds that you've got in your asset tray. You can actually just fill the shapes and create really interesting designs that way. So there you go, text and shapes can really liven up your Scrapblog.